There is no question that Attorney General Pam Bondi was given some very specific marching orders when she testified on Capitol Hill today. I mean, orders like, don't answer many questions or any questions. Pass the buck to the FBI, which I would note she oversees. That's under the Department of Justice. And when all else fails, launch personal attacks against the senator questioning you. That seemed to be the strategy. But whatever strategery was given to her by the Trump team, and they gave her some, didn't seem to really land well. I mean, here was one exchange between Attorney General Bondi and Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse about Trump's relationship with child sex predator Jeffrey Epstein.
There's been public reporting that Jeffrey Epstein showed people photos of President Trump with half-naked young women. Do you know if the FBI found those photographs in their search of Jeffrey Epstein's safe or premises or otherwise? Have you seen any such thing?
You know, Senator Whitehouse, you sit here and make salacious remarks, once again trying to slander President Trump left and right, when you're the one who was taking money from one of Epstein's closest confidants, I believe. I could be wrong, correct me.
The question is, did the FBI find those photographs that have been discussed publicly by a witness who claimed Jeffrey Epstein showed them to him? You don't know anything about that. Okay.
I mean, it was a very specific question, one she should know the answer to. So first she avoided answering a very specific question. Then she tried to redirect by attacking Senator Whitehouse. And did you notice that binder of notes that she kept consulting during that exchange? Apparently they weren't just meant to help her answer the questions, which they clearly did not do. Eagle-eyed photojournalists spotted that some of those notes were full of pre-scripted attacks on people like Senator Whitehouse. And then, once she seemed to run out of attacks, she just sat there, staring blankly, saying nothing. And that wasn't the only way she evaded questions. I mean, this was many hours of a hearing today. On multiple occasions, we also saw her pass the buck to the FBI, many times. Just look what happened when multiple senators asked Pam Bondi about reports that the Department of Justice spiked an investigation into Trump's border czar Tom Homan after, and we all remember this insane story, he allegedly accepted a $50,000 cash bribe in a paper bag from undercover agents.
Is there a tape that has audio and video of the transfer of the $50,000?
You would have to talk to Director Patel about that.
No, I'm talking to you.
Will you support a request by this committee to provide that tape or tapes to the committee? Yes or no?
Senator Schiff, you can talk to Director Patel about that.
What became of the $50,000? Did the FBI get it back?
Mr. Whitehouse, excuse me, Senator Whitehouse, you're welcome to talk to the FBI.
They report to you. Can't you answer this question?
They report to you. That's a statement of fact. The FBI is part of the Department of Justice. I'm going to keep stating this. But Pam Bondi would like everyone to please forget that she's actually the one in charge of all of this. And that's really sort of a theme today that struck me. I mean, consider Bondi's answer to this question about the Trump administration's decision to deploy the National Guard to American cities.
They are going to transfer Texas National Guard units to the state of Illinois. What's the rationale for that?
Yeah, Chairman, as you shut down the government, you voted to shut down the government, and you're sitting here, our law enforcement officers aren't being paid. They're out there working to protect you. I wish you loved Chicago as much as you hate President Trump.
I mean, what? She was asked about this administration's highly controversial decision to deploy American troops in American streets, something that was only recently ruled illegal by the law in another American city. You would think the nation's top lawyer would have a view, even if she legally defended it. Who knows? Nope, that's not what she had. Just avoid the question and blame. It's a strategy that might work if you actually have no power, if you're the party out of power, trying to hold to account those governing. But here's the thing. Democrats are not in charge of the federal government at all. Republicans are. They are in charge of all of it. The White House, the Senate, the House, the Justice Department, to say nothing of the 6-3 conservative majority on the Supreme Court. They are in charge of everything. And yet they have still built their entire governing and public communication philosophy, it seems, around playing the victim in almost every situation. Like they are observers of the problems happening in the world, including the ones they created. I mean, perhaps the same strategic geniuses who prepped Pam Bondi for that hearing have been in charge of the White House strategy around the government shutdown. Maybe that could explain it. Because Republicans have spent a week pointing fingers at Democrats, even though the majority of the public isn't buying it. It's not working. I mean, in poll after poll, Americans blame Trump and Republicans in Congress by wide margins. Well, poll after poll, which makes sense because, again, they are in charge of basically everything. And they aren't helping themselves when their answers make absolutely no sense. I mean, for example, right now airports from Burbank, California to Nashville, Tennessee are literally going dark thanks to a shortage of air traffic controllers, which has prompted delays around the country. Trump was asked about those delays earlier today, and this is what he had to say.
Are you concerned about the delays at airports, and how do you see the shutdown ending?
Oh, sure. I mean, it's they're all Democrat delays. There are delays at the airport. That's standard.
Wait, what? Delays at the airports, those are Democrat delays. I guess he was trying to blame things. But also those delays are standard and fine, nothing to see here. I mean, I don't know what to make of that. It's like he's torn between trying to blame Democrats for the shutdown, trying to pretend that everything happening under his leadership is hunky-dory, delays are normal. I don't know. He has no idea, clearly, though, how to deal with the fact that he is the one in charge of everything. And so his behavior has been all over the map. I mean, yesterday Trump claimed he was finally negotiating with Democrats over the shutdown and suggested he was even willing to work with them on their key demand to restore the ACA healthcare subsidies that would keep premiums from skyrocketing.
We are speaking with the Democrats, and some very good things could happen with respect to health care.
Would you make a deal with them on the ACA subsidies?
If we made the right deal, I'd make a deal.
I mean, sounds good, right? Everybody wants this shutdown to close. People want the ACA subsidies. The overwhelming majority of the country wants them to be extended. Sounds good, right? Except that came as news to senators of both parties because it was entirely untrue. And after he was called out on that lie, he abruptly reversed course, saying Republicans would not negotiate an end to the shutdown that would extend the ACA premium credits. Look, we've talked about this a lot before. Trump is not a policy guy or a details guy. Apparently, he's not a negotiations guy either. It remains unclear 1 week in if he even knows what this is about and how to bring it to an end. And that's pretty pivotal for the president of the United States to be involved and understand and know how to end this, which is probably why his administration has effectively handed over control of their shutdown strategy to Trump's budget director and architect of Project 2025, Russ Vought. I mean, today we learned that Vought's office is now circulating a memo arguing that the administration does not have to pay federal employees back pay for the work they do during this shutdown. Now, I should note here that it is technically illegal to deny those workers the back pay they are owed. It is a direct violation of the Government Employee Fair Treatment Act, which was signed into law by none other than Donald Trump during his first administration. In fact, guidance put out by the White House prior to today said that all furloughed workers should get automatic back pay. But when Axios asked the White House for comment about their plan to deny workers that pay, a senior White House official replied, quote, "OMB is in charge," referring to the office run by Russ Vought. I mean, again, what? You are the White House. If I ever told a reporter that OMB was the final call when I worked in the White House about something like this, I would have been escorted out of the building. But today, Donald Trump was given a chance to clear all of this up when he was asked directly whether his administration plans to deny furloughed workers their back pay. He could have cleared it up. But instead, Trump just made everything even more confusing by suggesting he would withhold back pay only from some federal workers, specifically the ones he doesn't think deserve it.
Is it the White House's position that furloughed workers should be paid for their back pay?
I would say it depends on who we're talking about. We're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way.
So, not the law. The law says you have to pay federal workers their back pay. Again, a law he signed during his first term. Russ Vought says no federal workers are entitled to their back pay, and Trump says he wants to use back pay as some kind of tool for retribution, I suppose. Okay, that's all bad. Maybe the Republican leader in the Senate can tell us what is actually happening, please.
I haven't looked at the memo specifically yet. My assumption is that furloughed workers will get back pay.
It is a law that federal workers who are furloughed get back pay. What is the president talking about then when he's suggesting that some groups may not get paid? Is that even allowed?
I don't know the answer to your questions. I haven't seen their legal analysis.
I mean, what? These people are in charge of everything. That is the Senate Majority Leader. That was the President of the United States. They're about as clear as mud. The leaders of the Republican Party who are in charge of everything are acting like they are mere spectators to all of this, like they are not the ones in charge of running the government and negotiating a way to fund it. It's not even clear that the president really knows what is happening from moment to moment, and Democrats, like Senator Mark Kelly, have not been shy about pointing out Trump's apparent inability to grasp what exactly Democrats are fighting for here.
It didn't even seem, the feedback we got, it didn't even seem that he understood what these premium tax credits were. So the first step here is the president has to understand what's going on.
Yeah, the first step here is definitely for the president to understand what's going on. Who can deny that is a complete statement of fact? It does not matter what political party you are from. It's no secret that Donald Trump spends the bulk of his free time watching Fox News. We all know that. So it's no surprise that Trump saw those comments by Senator Kelly and immediately started rage posting about it on his social media account, saying, quote, "Why is Fox News and Peter Doocy putting on Democrat Senator Mark Kelly to talk about totally unabated or challenged health care? Republicans are so tired of this fight with Fox always trying to be so politically correct. Thank you for your attention to this matter." I love that last part, always. I mean, look, Donald Trump is the most powerful man in the world right now, or one of them. He's supposed to be the one leading his party out of this shutdown fight, as any president would be. But instead, he's acting like he isn't in charge of anything, sitting back and playing armchair critic on social media, complaining about Fox News coverage. And meanwhile, Democrats are making it crystal clear to anyone paying attention, including the people watching Fox News, that the president does not have any idea what is going on here exactly.
Let me say it plain. Tonight wasn't a stumble for the Trump machine. It was a faceplant. Pam Bondi walked into that Senate hearing armed with a binder full of talking points and walked out looking like she'd been set up to fail. And when the cameras caught it, she did what every disposable Trump surrogate eventually does. She bailed on the truth, then basically bailed on him. Here's what we watched. A top law officer shows up with marching orders. Dodge questions, punt everything to the FBI, the bureau she's supposed to oversee, and when cornered, go personal. So when Senator Sheldon Whitehouse asked a narrow, factual question about whether the FBI found Epstein photos involving Trump, Bondi didn't answer. She swung. She accused. She read from a pre-baked hit list. Then, when the attacks ran out, the silence set in. That's not testimony. That's a performance with the sound off. It got worse. On the alleged $50,000 cash bribe tied to Trump's border czar, senators asked basic oversight questions. Is there tape? Where did the money go? Bondi's answer to everything. Talk to the FBI. No, that's not how accountability works. The FBI reports to the Justice Department. If you're in the chair, the buck stops with you. Passing it down the chain is not leadership, it's hiding. And when asked about shipping National Guard units into American cities, a move already flagged as unlawful elsewhere, she didn't even pretend to weigh the law. She just tried to body check the questioner with a shutdown talking point. That's the tell. When power can't defend its choices, it attacks the people asking why. Zoom out, and you see the pattern. Republicans control the White House, Congress, the Justice Department, and a friendly Supreme Court, yet they posture like bystanders. Airports are melting down from staffing shortages. Families are missing paychecks, and we're told these are Democrat delays. In the same breath, everything's fine, but it's also the other guy's fault. Which is it? Then there's the money. A memo from the Project 2025 crew suggests workers stiffed by the shutdown might never get their legally mandated back pay, a law Trump himself signed the first time around. The White House shrugs and says, OMB is in charge. The president hints some workers don't deserve to be made whole. That's not fiscal policy. That's punishment dressed up as governance. And when Senator Mark Kelly says the president doesn't even seem to grasp what premium tax credits are, the very leverage point in this fight, Trump's first instinct is to rage post about Fox News. Think about that. The most powerful office in the country treats oversight like heckling and treats his own staff like human shields. Here's the uncomfortable truth. This isn't confusion, it's strategy. Create chaos, blur responsibility, and make government feel cruel so people stop expecting it to serve them. Pam Bondi's blank binder moment wasn't an accident. It was the method laid bare. We don't have to accept that. Democracy is not a spectator sport, and accountability isn't optional. Keep calling, keep showing up, keep demanding receipts. Because power hopes we're too tired to notice. Tonight we noticed, and tomorrow we make them answer.